coming. We also go to Borno State, where Professor Zulum is having his problem with how, integrating Boko Haram repentance into the society. Of course, that again is drawing, people's concern here, that how do we allow people that have killed, maimed, and destroyed our homes and families and have them back in the society? All of these is coming and making the state, the nation heated as it is. The polity is being heated, and what to do about it. Again, would it be that this has been long, this has come from a long way, that we saw this coming, but just what did we do to curb the situation? Danjuma Sarki, my guest this morning on Perspectives. Danjuma Sarki, good morning and glad to have you here. Hello? Hello, Danjuma. Okay, well, still trying to get my guest, back. Sure we'll have him back. He's been standing by and waiting to join us. We'll do that now. Any moment from now, we'll bring in Danjuma Sarki to share thoughts with us about the state of the nation. Hello, Danjuma. Hello. Hello, Danjuma.
Hello.
Okay, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, Danjuma, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, we'll just go for this break. We'll come back. Hello.
Yeah, hello. I'm listening. I'm hearing you.
Okay. All right. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you very clearly.
Okay. Just stay on the line. Yeah.
Okay. Then.
Yeah. All right, welcome back. Glad to have Danjuma Sarki back on the line with us. And there's a long distance call to Abuja, where Danjuma Sarki is now. And Danjuma, I just gave a background there about the situation we have on our hands and government, how efforts it's making. And in that background, I did not, again, touch on what just happened recently with the Nigerian Defense Academy. Now, that, again, is coming as a rude shock, so to say, that the training ground for potential men, of the force, talking about the military now, invaded, so to say, by gunmen. And again, senior officers killed, abducted, and all of that. This is coming in also into the state of the nation. Your concerns here?
I want to say that particular incident was shocking. It's a great embarrassment to our nation, and particularly to our security and the capacity of those who are saddled with the responsibility to provide safe and secured environment for Nigerians. Because it's very surprising that untrained people who are assumed not to be skilled in terms of security, in terms of intelligence gathering, in terms of weapon handling and what have you, would go and penetrate, desecrate a very premier institution of security and training of security personnel like the Nigerian Defense Academy. Nigerian Defense Academy is the apex body where we train our senior ranking military officers. So this, I would say, is very shocking, and it shows that we have a lot of security challenges in Nigeria, because these people started this banditry, kidnapping, and a lot of other security challenges that they have been embarrassing our nation with. Not today. I believe all other security instruments or mechanisms we have across our nation should have been already alive to forestall whatever challenge that might arise from that. And our nation and leaders should have really rejected the security strategy they have in place, the security architecture, and generally the security governance around the security infrastructures. Because if today the places that are supposed to be the hope or the shield of the common man are being accessed or violated like that, then what is the hope of the common man? What is the situation of us who are roaming about on the street daily? What is the confidence that we can have in our government to be able to make us secure? And as you know, security should be the paramount agenda of every government. And it should be, every government should be able to guarantee its citizens that level of security. Citizens should be secured to be able to engage in their social and economic activities without hindrance, without fear or any apprehension. But today, the situation we find ourselves, I want to say, is rather pathetic. But we saw it coming. I want to tell you that we saw it coming. Because, you know, like the NDA, before the NDA, AFACA, Federal College of Forestry, AFACA, which is just opposite the Nigerian Defense Academy, was attacked. And students were kidnapped from that place. And they went and stayed for so many months before the ransom was paid and they were released. The security agencies could not make any effort in rescuing those students. And likewise, the Kaduna Airport, which is after the Nigerian Defense Academy, and you cannot access the airport primarily without following the main gate of the Nigerian Defense Academy. That area have been a major source of security challenge because people have been kidnapped. The number of kidnappings and crimes that go around that axis are highly underreported. You know, so all these are indicators, even before now, that government and the security agencies should have beefed up security within that angle and that area, and they should have been put all our security institutions and security establishment on red alert. You know, so I want to say it's one of the most dampening moments of our nation, and our nation have been exposed to national and international ridicule by this particular act.
Again, coming to this point where you, as a youth leader, you see what's happening and what the youths are going through today, and it is said that the youth of any nation, they are the engine room of development and all of that for a nation. But here we are with our youths, majorly unemployed. And of course, the schools, again, most times the schools, again, are not even safe for them. And then we see, the NSAS, memories of that still lingers on, where youths, were dampened about the situation of the country and had to come out on the streets. And we saw how they were treated. Now, for this arrowhead for development of any nation, how has the government managed and handled the issues of youth restiveness today?
I want to say that the Nigerian youth population is highly traumatized. It's it's been dejected. It's been sidelined. It's not part of the government planning. Government have not been able to formulate policies that will ensure youth inclusion in its programs and activities. And this seriously, I would say, is a pathetic situation. Because just as you said, today, our youth on a daily basis are even thrown out of jobs, not to talk of even them being employed. And as it is today, job creation have become like a mirage in our nation. And any nation that has an energetic, bubbly and strong youth population that is allowed to just be wasting away, certainly that nation is sitting on a time bomb. Because today our nation is supposed to be harnessing the potentials of our youth. I want to tell you categorically, I believe that the Nigerian youth are very innovative, They are very creative. Give them the necessary environment. They are hardworking. Because that's why today you find our youth excelling in different areas or sectors globally. Whenever they go to areas where they have the competitive platforms, where they have the required infrastructure, where they have the enabling environment, you see them excel. You see, our youth are always looking for ventures in order to contribute their own quota to national development. But most times you find it very frustrating, because when you try to develop your personal ability and capacity to be able to contribute to national development, you find out that when you struggle hard, you meet the brick wall of nepotism, the brick wall of favoritism, the brick wall of who you know, or the begin to tell you, no, for you to be able to access this, you must get a letter from a governor, you must get a note from a senator, you must have somebody who will place a call for you. So you see, these are avenues where merit, competency, credibility, and other norms that are known and qualities that are known that enhance merit are jettisoned and are destroyed on the altar of this pecuniary and selfish adventure. You know, here as a nation, Nigeria should be able to understand that its youths are ready to contribute immensely to get us out of this route. But the government is always turning ears. And let me tell you, there's no how a nation can develop when that nation does not listen to its population. When that government is not responsible to yearnings and demands of its people. Because no matter how you are, how old you are, or how experienced you are, you cannot know it all. You cannot see it all. But for your ability to be able to listen to the opinions of people, listen to your young population, for them to be able to tell you what they are thinking of, most especially at these times whereby the thinking of the world, the nature and ways things are being done have changed globally. That is why you find out that today, some of the richest people in the world today are young people. Okay, look at people like Mark Zuckerberg and what have you. They are people who are always daily using their creative ideas in order to propel their nation to greatness, in order to create employment, in order to create job opportunities for the teeming population. But here in Nigeria, I want to tell you, if you come out to speak, the next thing they will send soldiers against you. They will send police against you. The presidency will issue statements not to address the issues you are raising, not to address the crux of the matter, but rather they'll find a way to ridicule you, they'll find a way to denigrate you, they'll find a way to rubbish you, which does not help. And let me tell you, there's no nation that will grow when there's no rule of law. Government is supposed to provide leadership. Government is supposed to provide direction for people to follow. Government is supposed to be fair and just to the people, so that people will feel naturally attached to that government. People will know that, yes, this government is fair to us. This government is responsive to us. This government engages in consensus orientation and consensus building. This government is interested in inclusiveness. This government is interested in providing efficiency and effectiveness when it comes to distribution of wealth, power, and other investments in the life of the people. But when people realize that whenever they come out to speak, what they get is harassment, they'll be hunted to the walls of detention centers and what have you. They know how people will feel emotionally attached or will feel that willingness and readiness to contribute positively to national development. They will begin to think of, how can I cut corners too? Or how can I get out of this country to go to places where I can really have the enabling environment to be able to contribute my quota positively, in order to be gainfully employed, in order to solve my personal, family, and other challenges that are characterized by our daily life. So you see, like the answers issue or agitation was a very great opportunity for the Nigerian government to be able to sit down to address some of these yearnings. Because as you know, that incident arose as a result of brutality of the Nigerian security personnel. And this thing is something that is genuine. It's a genuine concern that came up due to the way that the now disbanded SARS were treating people. And mind you, these are people that are being paid by our common patrimony. They are being paid by our national resources. These are people that applied and sought to different kind of oath and allegiance to be able to protect the citizenry. But they end up molesting them. They end up bastardizing them. They end up giving Nigerians bad names in order to be able to deal with them. And they engage in a lot of corrupt practices that every day people begin to lose confidence in them, that these things began to become a daily occurrence. And that is why when the call was made, people spontaneously came out and supported that movement. And look at the way the government handled it. It was poorly handled in the sense that they had to go and use live bullets on innocent Nigerians. A lot of them were killed and what have you. And government came out to deny it, despite the avalanche and the abundant evidence, video, audio, witnesses, and what have you, that have come out to testify, that have come out to say that yes, the government did not address the challenges of the people. Rather, they went and killed a lot of people. And today they have set up different commission of inquiries and what have you. And the processes of those commissions of inquiries are becoming more like a jamboree.
Okay, I need to take you on. You just said something about losing confidence, Nigerians losing confidence, and this may just go, to the situation we have on our hands, and that's talking about Nigeria today. In the second part of this conversation, I'd like to take you on losing confidence, and you'll get to hear from what angle I'll be coming out. But time we go for a commercial break. Be back with you shortly.
Okay.
Perceptions could change. Opinions can be formed with more and accurate information. Get all sides, views, and opinions on topical issues. Have your say on Perspectives. With Twin Alabi at 9 a.m. Mondays to Fridays on Invicta 98.9 FM. Perspectives. All sides, all views, all individuals are welcome.
Welcome back. Is the program Perspectives this morning, reaching you on Invicta 98.9, and we're discussing the state of the nation. Danjuma Seriki is my guest. He's a youth leader and a public affairs analyst. Now, Danjuma, just before we went on that break, I took a bit of your statement there, talking about losing confidence. And I want to refer you to a situation. This was in Abuja. Where recruitment was on for doctors, medical personnel to Saudi Arabia. Now the turnout for some people turned out to be embarrassing. The number of doctors that wants to leave the shores of the country. Now some people have said that if you took this to other states, where the recruitment team goes round the state, they could paralyze even the health sector of states. Now, Nigerians rushing out and wanting to leave the shores of the nation and going to other countries of the world to be the workforce, the strong workforce of nations like that. What does this tell about, state of the nation again?
I'll say this is a very sad experience, and it shows that our nation is in jeopardy. Our nation is in a very ugly situation, and this mirrors the quality of governance, the quality of delivery in our nation, because these are expression of dissatisfaction by the people. And just like you saw there, that was because the government that conducted that particularly recruitment exercise did it in public, and it was announced. I want to tell you today, if you visit the embassies we have in Nigeria, you see the number of applications of people who want to leave this country is very alarming. If you equally go to some of these travel consultancy services agencies who get jobs for people abroad, who get visas for people, or different categories of visa for people, you'll be shocked by the kind of applications and requests they are getting from people who are even willing to pay to be able to exit the country to go and get a better source of livelihood. You see, here we are talking about dissatisfaction with the way the country is being run, with the way service is being delivered to the people, and the other ills that have characterized the minds of our leaders and the government itself. Because anywhere that the leadership is not showing transparency and accountability to the people, certainly you begin to find disenchantment. Just like you know, the doctors are incessantly on strike, and most times when they are on strike, you find out what are their agitations. Their agitations are mostly for better remuneration, because the services they are provided are not services that are just commonly found. These are people who are well trained, who are skilled, and they are yearning for better services so that they can contribute their own quota to the people, to the nation. But the government will refuse to acknowledge that. Rather, government will begin to blackmail them, call them all sorts of names, and what have you. And apart from that, you find out that they are equally looking for ways government can provide a better enabling environment for them to be able to competitively rise to the peak of their career, for them to be able to do research, for them to be able to develop their sector for the betterment not of their self, but for our own national development entirely. The government will continue to refuse to provide that enabling environment. But rather, you hear every day news of billions of naira being siphoned, being embezzled, or being misapplied in different areas. So this actually breeds dissatisfaction, this breeds anger in the minds of people. So that is why you begin to see the manifestations of this kind of dissatisfaction and loss of confidence in this area of our brain drain and flight of our human resources out of this country. Just like you said, I'm telling you, if you take this kind of activity around states, what will happen or what you witness will be very, very damning and will be very shocking. And this is not only to the doctor. Just like you know, today, Nigerian doctors that are even working in the health sector of the US, the UK, are almost outnumbering even their citizens there who are working. And you find out that Nigerians are doing well there. Likewise now, if you go and you leave the health sector, if you go to other sectors like the education sector, you find a lot of our people are leaving the country to other places to better their livelihood. Go to equally even let's leave even the skilled sector. Go to equally the unskilled sector and see the way equally people who are supposed to be nurtured to become leaders of our nation tomorrow, who are supposed to be invested upon so that tomorrow they can give better service to the nation, are every day living this country. You find out the rich and the wealthy are always taking their children abroad to be able to school, to train them there, and in most cases they don't even return to work here. Rather, they are using that as another way of capital flight, taking the resources that they are supposed to put into our economy to develop our economy, taking it abroad to train their words. Even when some of them come back, they are most times giving the good jobs that are even available in government and what have you, while children of the have-nots are allowed to fend for themselves. So this kind of experiences or challenge that we have regarding brain drain is very, very alarming and is a major challenge that government must wake up. Government must ensure that those who are working for us as a nation are giving their due remuneration.
Again, Dr. Danjuma, I'd just like to put this across to you. Yes. It's been over 60 years of this project called Nigeria, and yet from all indications, we still can't, get it right. I'm talking about the people, distrust, suspicion, and of course, the way we are, our cultures and all of that. We've not really been able to allow ourselves to be one nation as we crave for. And though they say tribe or tongue may differ, but in unity, we make more strength or get more strength. But look at it today. It's here today in this project called Nigeria that some people want to break away. Some people just want to leave. And again, it is Nigeria here where more than any other place or path in the world, religious crisis, all showing. And then we have our ethnicities all showing up too, that we just can't get it right. And so you begin to wonder, where did we not, how did we come to this point where we're just not getting each other? The youths are not getting each other right. And of course, the old too have allowed themselves to just sit by and watch. So not getting it right in terms of our demands and agitations, how this is telling on the project Nigeria. I
would say this is a manifestation of a failure of leadership. Leadership, I want to tell you, is an instrument for enhancing the life of the people. Is an instrument for providing direction for people to follow in order to achieve the goals of good governance for the people. But in a situation whereby people become so disenchanted, are feeling left behind, or are feeling not appreciated, or are feeling that injustice and unfair disposition have become a norm or a practice of government, you find out that people begin to agitate to break away. But I want to say that separatist agitation, self-determinations are global movements arising from feeling of marginalization, feeling of lack of inclusion, feeling of disenchantment here and there. So, but the way you manage it as a nation would determine the outcome of those agitations. Like it is today in Nigeria, people are seeing and having the feeling that government is not carrying all regions, all ethnic groups, and other divisions or diversity we have along. That is why you begin to see, or you are witnessing this kind of daily agitation here and there. People are feeling the appointments that are being made by this government is actually not representing the federal character that it should represent. Look at, for example, federal character is a law and is constitutional in Nigeria, but the institution that is supposed to ensure the implementation of federal character in Nigeria itself is not observing that federal character. It's like the Federal Character Commission. Imagine the chairman and secretary of the Federal Character Commission coming from one particular region of the nation. How do you expect other parts of the nation to be happy with this? Because it's about inclusion, it's about involvement, it's about participation. Having people who will be there to be able to at least represent the interests of the diverse ethnic and the cultural groupings we have. But you find out that no, you as a leader will feel that no, you have to have your own there in all key strata. How would you expect the other person to be happy? Sometimes I keep saying that, why won't you as a northerner today, if you want to ensure fairness or you want to jettison federal character, okay, bring somebody who is not from your region, give them the responsibility of ensuring that inclusion. People will not raise the kind of accusing fingers they are raising. Just like the federal character I spoke about. If the government had taken people from other parts of the country to saddle them with that responsibility, the people will not be agitating. They will say, yes, the government is trying to provide leadership, because even if those people fail, the government is there to wield the big stick. But when you refuse to do that, people certainly will begin to feel detached from your government. And again, look at the issue of security network, health of security agencies we have. Majority of the heads are from one particular section of the country. Every day they do employment, you see names of people from one particular part of the country. I'm from northern Nigeria, okay? But I don't feel happy when sometimes I see things that only favor the north. It begins to show me that our future in regards to unity, cohesion, and national harmony is being threatened. Because if tomorrow, when we will be at the top position of leadership, and today we don't find a northerner or somebody from my part of the nation at the helms of affairs, that means whatever I have to offer, whatever competence I have, whatever capacity I have, whatever merit I have, will be killed or suppressed by other sentiments that are not in any way developmental or progressive in nature, but they are only primordial and selfish to some particular people. So the government must be able to provide leadership and show the ability to be able to influence its populace to meet its set objective of national development. But once that government is not providing that equity, is not showing that fairness, is not showing that transparency and accountability that is desired, certainly people begin to move away from it, and it begins to lose credibility. It begins to lose support. You begin to see all these kind of agitations here and there. Look at today. I was very surprised, despite the fact that we keep saying that the resources we have in this nation is not sufficient to be able to address a lot of our key development challenges. It's not enough to provide the required social and economic welfare for the people. But when they were doing the recent constitutional amendment hearings, look at the agitation for the creation of states. We have over 20 requests. That is very, very disturbing, but it is the clear reality. How is it a clear reality? It's a clear reality because people are not feeling safe. They are not feeling included. They are not feeling carried along in the current setup we have. So even at the subnational level, at the state level, to be precise, people are feeling disenchanted. They are feeling marginalized. They are feeling segregated because resources are most times channeled in a marginalized way or to a particular part of the various states we have. People who do not have access to power, or when the government is in power, it does not share power equitably with the people. It does not distribute resources equitably with the people. So people are agitating to break away or the states to be divided, so that if today your state annually is getting 10 billion naira, for example, and out of that 10 billion naira, 7 billion naira goes to just a particular senatorial district, leaving the other senatorial districts to their own fate, certainly people will begin to agitate that even if they are going to break it, so that that 10 billion will not be shared among them 5 billion, or one part takes 6 billion, one takes 4 billion. At least they feel with that 4 billion, they have annual guarantee that that 4 billion will be invested in their own part, will be shared equitably among their part, and their people will be the better for the better. So you see, all this are true manifestation of lack of equitable service delivery.
Okay, then let me just move on to the public arena now. Get the public to be part of this conversation. Let's get to hear you on numbers 081 40,000 989, 081 40,000 989, or 070 87800 989, 070 87800 989.
Hello, good morning. Sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tony.
Good morning.
Good morning to your guest.
Yes.
It's Francis.
All right, Francis, let's hear you.
I have really done justice to the topic and the questions you have asked me. But as a Nigerian, and based on how things are going in this country today, I don't think there is a happy Nigerians anymore, except those that are in the corridors of power and their children and relations. Just like what your guest just said last concerning equitable distribution of resources. Very, very obvious that Nigeria has been divided by the ruling class, especially in this government. Nigeria has been divided according to their choice. And it's very, very unfortunate to hear some people still preaching of one Nigeria, because our leaders have used their hands and their powers and positions to show even the international community that Nigeria is no longer one. We are just camouflaging to be one nation, but we are not. And to be frank with you as a Nigerian, I don't think this country can still hold anymore.
No, that's been pessimistic. Allow that. What we want is for a better and stronger Nigerian. All right, Francis, we got you on that. I'll still take calls, 1 or 2 calls, and come back to the guest. Hello, good morning.
Hello, my big brother. Good morning.
Good morning.
Engineer Ogunwole is on the line.
Ogunwole.
God bless you. The lack of love in this country. In the absence of love, there will be no unity. Let us tell ourselves truth, nothing but the truth. Our leaders today, they did not carry us along. See what is happening in this Nigeria. This normal government cannot help us. It cannot help us. Nigeria is already divided. Let's say the truth, nothing but the truth. What are we going? It's already divided. This is more than 3. What are we saying? Please, we are already divided. It's only God will help us this country.
Well, divided and trying to get ourselves united.
No.
Well, again, that Ogunwole divided, and what we're craving for now is to get ourselves, united. Let's take one more call. Come back to our guest. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
This is Arokoyo on the line.
Arokoyo.
Yeah, Arokoyo on the line.
All right, let's hear you, Arokoyo.
Close to your guest, he has really spoken so very well. After listening to your guest this morning, the hope that was dashed to me about this country was reignited. Kudos to him. I don't know that there is a northerner that can speak as fairly as he has spoken.
How fair can that be? How fair can that be?
Sincerely speaking. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, but let's be fair and let's be mindful of our language too. Yes.
Yeah, if you can hear me clearly.
I can hear you clearly.
If you can hear me sincerely speaking, this guy has reignited his hope that has been lost.
Yes, good to hear that.
Of us.
Good to
that
hear
is
that.
why you see your first two callers have said that there is no nation called Nigeria anymore. But I just want to believe that if people like him are given opportunities of leadership, I believe they can turn things around.
Okay, thank you, Arukuyo. All right, thank you. All right, Danjuma, I'll come back to you. Call us on Francis Ogunwole, Engineer Ogunwole. Francis, talked about, can we say that we have happy Nigerians? Well, that's for him. Engineer Ogunwole was coming from the middle to say that lack of love. If there's no love, then there's no unity. Arukuyo, again, that's the nice part of it here, was that you reignited his belief in Nigeria. And so, your last line here, let's hear you and round it up.
I want to say that all hope is not lost. If we can get a good leader,
I don't get a good leader. Anyway, what are you saying? Leadership could come from anywhere, and so
yes, no, but the headship matters. That is where the leadership
in the communities, in our schools, our homes, and getting the right leadership.
Yes,
right.
That's why I said that the leader will provide the direction, and the followership. We know that if you don't follow that direction is sincere, is genuine for national goals and development. If you fail, you'll be disciplined. But once that is lacking, is a problem. But now what I want to say is that if we had...
Hello?
First, for example, if the leader is from the north, he appoints his chief of staff from the south. He appoints his chief of defense staff from the south. Appoint chief of army from the north. Appoint chief of naval staff from maybe north central. Appoint the chief of air staff from the south. Before you know it, and he begins to ensure in all his appointments, federal character and inclusion is being observed. I am telling you, most of this agitation will begin to simmer down. Then he begin to make sure that if no matter how close you are to him, no matter how dear, even if you are his son, if you do what is not right, you are disciplined or you are sanctioned without any hesitation. If any expression of grievances is brought to his notice, he does not expend the most time in addressing it. The government becomes very responsive. You begin to see people who begin to comport. Nigerians, up to now, we love ourselves. But it's the government that continue to plant that seed of discourse, and our leaders that continue to see they exploit our fault lines in order for them to continue to advance their personal interests of mostly enriching themselves and their families against us, the greater part of the population.
Thank you, Masaki. I'd like to thank you for coming on the program.
So thank you very much, and it's my pleasure once again.
Thank you. Well, that will just be about the size of it on the program Perspectives this morning. Danjuma Serki, a youth leader and a public affairs analyst, sharing thoughts with us today. And again, food for thought for all of us, in making Nigeria great again. My colleagues in the studio, Job Daniel, thank you for connecting with the people. Wisdom, thank you for putting us in the pictures. And the interns here, thank you too for being part of it. We'll come back with Perspectives tomorrow. Good morning.